y'all, it's Hannah and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be talking about how we put weight on Levi and what we feed him, with him being a hard keeper, because I always get a lot of questions about it. So yeah, I hope y'all are able to find this video helpful. If you are, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below if you would like to see more of my future videos. And my Instagram and Snapchat and all of that kind of stuff is always linked in the description box if you would like to go and follow me on there. So yeah, let's just get started. Levi has been with us for about 5 years now. On February 18th, we will have had him for 5 years, and he will be 21 on March 1st. Now, when we first brought Levi here, he was 500 pounds. He was very, very skinny. The chickens scare you. And now he's over 700 pounds. So he's gained over 200 pounds since we've brought him here. So he's came a long way, and I know if y'all have followed me for a long time, then you've seen where he came from and how far he's come. This is what Levi looked like the day we brought him home. This picture is so heartbreaking and very hard for me to look at, but it also makes me really happy seeing like where he came from and where he is now. And this is just what helped him and what works for us. I am no vet, I'm not a pro or anything like that. Today I'm just sharing with y'all what worked for us. Different things are going to work for different horses, and it obviously depends on your horse and the circumstances and everything. And you always want to be sure to talk to your vet and get their opinion about your horse's diet and everything. I just want to mention really quickly, anytime you are introducing a new feed to your horse, you want to introduce it very slowly. I would just take 1/4 of what you were trying to feed and just start feeding that 1/4 for about 5 days. And after that 5 days, if they're doing good with it, you can add another 1/4 to it. But you want to do it very, very slowly, and also make sure they don't have any allergies to the new feed or anything. Okay, so the first thing that helped Levi a lot was alfalfa hay, and alfalfa hay is higher in calories and also in protein than your grass hays, so that makes it really great for weight gain. And I also feed alfalfa pellets because I cannot afford to get as much alfalfa hay as I would like to because it's very expensive. But alfalfa pellets cannot completely replace alfalfa hay, only about like 25% of what you would normally feed. Put your head on this side. And something else that helps Levi a lot is beet pulp, and beet pulp is really great for horses that... Do you see him? Look at him. What are you doing? And beet pulp is also very low in starches and in sugar, so it's really great for horses that need a low starch sugar diet. And it's also very, very digestible for horses, so it's great for your older horses that have a hard time digesting properly, and also if they have a hard time grinding their food and they have like bad teeth, it's very easy to digest for them. And beet pulp is the fibrous material that is left over after the sugar is extracted from the sugar beets. And Levi is also on pasture 24/7, so good grass obviously helps put weight on them and fill them out a lot, which right now it's wintertime, so we don't have a ton of grass, so he isn't as filled out as he normally would be. And beet pulp and alfalfa pellets cannot completely replace hay, because it doesn't have all the nutrition that hay does. And beet pulp and alfalfa pellets, they are not a grain, they are forage based, which is another reason why I really like to feed them. They are not completely balanced in minerals and vitamins and everything, so I also feed Levi Purina's senior feed. That way I make sure he's getting all of his vitamins and minerals and a complete like feed as far as that goes. And then he also gets a little bit of alfalfa hay and coastal hay, and then he's on pasture 24/7. So every morning and evening he gets alfalfa pellets, beet pulp, and his Purina senior feed. So yeah, all this stuff has helped Levi a lot, and he is a hard keeper, so he has to stay eating all of this stuff. So it's not like we could just bring him up to where he needed to be and then take him off of it. He still has to continue eating it to maintain everything that we put on him. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. And beet pulp is very dry, so it has to be soaked, as well as the alfalfa pellets. I'm going to start soaking Levi's feed right now, so I'm going to show you what I do. And this is what beet pulp looks like before it is soaked. It is very like crispy. I don't know if you can hear it. but it's very crispy. It should not sound like that after it's soaked at all. So if you feed your horse beet pulp like this, they will definitely choke. Okay, so here's his bucket with the beet pulp in it. And the beet pulp, you're going to want to pour at least the same amount of water of beet pulp that's in there. So I normally do about like that. And I let this soak overnight. But you don't want it soaking longer than that because it can start to mold and create bacteria and everything. So I wouldn't let it soak for like longer than like 12 or 14 hours. So if it's like slimy, I would dump it out and make more because you definitely don't want your horse getting sick. And you can soak it a lot faster with hot water, but with our routine on our farm, it's a lot easier for me to just soak it overnight. So that's just what is easier for us, but you can use the hot water or soak it for like 3 or 4 hours, whatever works for you. But I would recommend soaking it for at least 2.5 hours because it's so dry, it can make them choke very, very easily. And Levi gets that morning and evening, so in the morning I go ahead and make more beet pulp for that evening, and then that evening I make more beet pulp for the next morning. That way I have it soaking and I know that like I don't have to worry about coming out here like super early to make sure it's soaked in time or anything like that. So it's just a lot easier for me to soak it all day and all night. And you can do an ear test to make sure your beet pulp is soaked properly. If you grab it, squeeze it by your ear. If it sounds crispy like Rice Krispies or something, it's not soaked long enough. But if it's really moist, then you should be good. These are the alfalfa pellets that we feed, and they are a lot smaller than the alfalfa pellets that you'll get at like these chickens. Hold on a second. These are the alfalfa pellets that we feed. They are really small. I really like them better than the bigger alfalfa pellets. They are not as dry as the big ones, so they don't really have to soak as long. After the beet pulp is done soaking, I add in his alfalfa pellets and his Purina Senior feed. And then I just take my gallon jug and wet it again. And then I just let it sit just for a few minutes. Because the alfalfa pellets I have are not that dry. They just need to be wet. They don't really have to soak. And then after that, I give it to him. And it helps him so much. So yeah, that was all for today's video. I hope y'all enjoyed and you were able to find this helpful. Don't forget to subscribe down below if you would like to see more of my future videos. I love and appreciate y'all so much, and I'll see y'all really soon. Bye!